Hey guys, so this is Accountability Monday and I am so glad to be here with you. Um, I don't get to show you my weight loss chart because I'm still at 210, but I did see 209 for a couple days and then I went right back up. But it doesn't bother me. I've been doing what I'm supposed to. I did start eating those small chocolate bars again. We had ran out of them, and we didn't buy any more for a while, and then we bought them again. And where I'd been eating more natural foods and less junk food and drinking more water, I had actually lost the taste for those chocolate bars, and then when I ate the first one again after over a week, it didn't quite taste the same. So it's a proven fact that when you stop eating junk food and you drink more water, you lose the taste for something. And that, for me, that's a good thing. I don't care. I don't care one bit. At one point in time in my life, I did. I didn't want to give up any of the good stuff like cookies, chips, candy. I do still eat pizzas and hamburgers and french fries, but I cut the portion on that. That way I still get my satisfaction, but I'm not overdoing it. So, but yeah, I've come to the point I don't want to get hooked on junk food again. I don't want to get hooked on sweets to the point that I've got to have it. The way it is, I reserve one day a week to have any kind of junk food whatsoever. And that's on Thursdays when Big Mouth is doing her reviews. Other than that, the rest of the week, 6 days out of the 7, I'm going to avoid junk food. That way I'm not hurting myself, I'm not gaining any weight back, and I'm kind of keeping the reserves, I guess you could say, and just giving that one day allowance so that my Big Mouth Thursday isn't without regret. It isn't with regret. Because, if I would indulge in the junk food and stuff all through the week and then come Big Mouth's reviews, I wouldn't be losing anything. So I'm saving one day, and that's Thursday, for any kind of junk food, whether it may be soda or candy or whatever may be. And I'm also going to be wise about that's this last Thursday I done an MRE instead of another reserve that had some junk food, which is going to be this Thursday. There's something that's in store for this Thursday for Big Mouth, so stay tuned for that. But so the night before we went to church, and on Wednesday nights we eat. There's a dinner on Wednesday nights, and they had glazed donuts. I like glazed donuts. I only ate one, so I done good there. But because I only ate one, because at least I did eat a donut, and originally I had planned for my Thursday to be the review that I'm going to be doing this Thursday. But to keep myself from getting back onto junk food, I went on ahead and done the MRE. I knew I had a better chance of not getting back on junk food, and sweets in particular, if I didn't turn around and do the particular review Thursday after eating a donut the night before. Hope that didn't go over top your heads. So in other words, to keep myself from getting hooked on sweets again, I chose a different review. Therefore, I was in no danger of getting hooked once again on junk food. Okay, so I measured myself again today, and so like I said, I am still 210, but my measurements is awesome. I went down in every area, and it's just a little bit, but to me, it speaks volumes. So this is what the results of my measurements was today. On my waist, I went down 1/2 inch. On my lower belly, 1/8 of an inch. And on my hips, another 1/3. So like, yeah, all right. So I don't care if I'm not down another pound with measurements that's showing I'm smaller. And the cool thing is, eventually the scales is going to reflect what the tape measure is showing. So I look forward to seeing what next Monday is going to be giving yins. Hopefully I might be down to an actual 208. That would be so cool. I would love to be able to give yins that. But as it goes, I am keeping my portions down by 1/3 to 1/2. It's according to what the object is. If it's if it's more of protein, I'm not really cutting that down at all. I'm not cutting the portion down if it's protein, like my meats, because I need the protein for the added muscle. That way my metabolism is stronger. But like anything that's more carb, I'm cutting that down anywhere from 1/3 to 1/2. And I'm only eating around anywhere from 2 meals and a snack to 3 meals and no snack. So it's just according to how hungry I am. I am going by the fasting, which I'm still averaging about 13 to 14 hours. But it just so happened that Saturday, after I ate, I wasn't hungry anymore, and I had actually ate my last meal. It was finished at 5:30, and I wasn't hungry no more for the rest of the day. And it ran on into the next morning, and naturally at 5:30 in the morning, that's the 12-hour window right there. That makes the 12-hour fast. But I continued on, and I wasn't hungry again until about 12 o'clock. I actually ended up doing a whole 19-hour fast. No hunger. Now, my husband was concerned about whether or not I had drunk plenty of water, and I did. I drank lots of water. I made sure to consume my water, so I wasn't dehydrated whatsoever. But a 19-hour fast, I was so amazed that I wasn't even hungry. But, so last night though, like, I finished my last meal at 6, and I thought, okay, well, am I going to do another large window again? But sure enough, before 9 o'clock, I was hungry again. So I munched on dry Cheerios, just regular plain Cheerios, no sugar, no milk. And it was a small bowl, but I just ate it as a snack. And the cool thing about Cheerios is, yeah, it's got a little bit of sugar in it, natural sugar. But it's also whole grain, and it's good for the heart. So I turned around and I made a healthy snack out of just eating dried Cheerios. And you know that when you're trying to teach your baby to eat more solids, it's good to just throw down a small handful of Cheerios for them to munch on, especially while they're teething, because it also works the gums. So if it's good enough for a baby to eat without milk and sugar, just eat it like a snack. It's sure good enough for us adults. And it was good. I had no problem munching on it. Matter of fact, I was actually proud of myself because I started to get the sugar and the milk out and just make myself a small bowl of cereal. And I thought, wait a minute, I just want to eat this dry. So that's what I did. So I cut calories and added sugar and just enjoyed the Cheerios. It was good. But to go along with the line of what I'm going with in my weight loss journey, there is this diet from Gwen Shamlin, and it's called the Ray Down. She does this in groups, and churches can even buy her material and do it in church groups. And all it basically is, she's talking about replacing what we think is food hunger with God, because sometimes what we think we're craving to eat is actually our desire to communicate with God and to having more in our life. And she's talking about just right down coming to it that you're replacing that hole in your body with Jesus Christ over food. And that's what happens a lot of times. A lot of people, you know, like they're bored or something, and so they replace that with eating. Or if they're sad or depressed or stressed or whatever, they fill that with eating. And it causes problems. And what she's talking about is just don't turn to food, but turn to God. You know, because, and I know some people don't know Jesus Christ, and I pray for all of you that doesn't. But I'm going to tell you this for personal reasons, out of personal experience, that fulfilling my life with the things of God makes a world of difference over eating. It really does. I have been depressed. I grew up with chronic depression. I mean, I was suicidal and everything. My mother can vouch for it. At a very young age, around the age of 7, I said, I wish I had a gun, I'd kill myself. I mean, I was suicidal all growing up. Chronic depression, deep, deep, deep depression, crying almost every single day. And after I got saved, I was prayed for, and the depression left. Over recent years, I have learned to turn more to God over anything else, which I never had a problem with stress eating, depression eating. I never did. Never did. Matter of fact, when I would be stressed out or depressed, I couldn't eat because my stomach was tied up in knots. But I had learned to turn to God anyway through situations. And aside from that, the other thing about the Ray Down diet through Gwen Shamlin is that she also talks about only eating when you're hungry and stopping when you're satisfied. Not when you're stuffed, not when you've ate enough to be a glutton, but you stop when you're satisfied. When you start feeling that slight fullness. It's a comfortable full. You're no longer actually hungry, and the food starts changing its taste. That's when you know that you've come to the point that you're actually satisfied and your stomach has had enough, and that's when you stop. So that you're not feeling like, oh my goodness, I can't breathe now, I gotta loosen my belt, I gotta put on some sweatpants, my jeans are too tight, you know. So yeah, that's what the Rae Down diet is. It's basically teaching you how to start and stop. Start when you're hungry, stop when you're satisfied, and fill the absence with God and not with food. Another pointer that she gave is that when you start feeling hungry, drink yourself some liquids, either a diet soda, a black coffee, a black tea, or, you know, an unflavored tea rather, or water. See if you're just thirsty. Because a lot of times when we think we're hungry, we're just thirsty, we're dehydrated. And she mentions that to try a liquid, but don't fill in the gap between meals with sugared drinks. Don't fix yourself a sugared coffee or anything like that, because you want to give your body a chance to become hungry. You want to give it a chance. And she also mentioned that if you still feel hungry after you drink something, then give yourself about another half hour to even an hour. She said kind of distract yourself and see if you forget about it. And if not, then go on ahead and go eat. But give yourself a chance to register that you'll be okay for a little longer. And therefore, it gives your body a chance to, as she puts it, eats the fat off of the hips. Makes sense. So that's what I'm doing. Portion control, less eating during the day, the Rae Down diet plan, making sure to put more of God in my life and less food, eating when I'm hungry, stopping when I'm satisfied, and doing the fast. I'm still making sure to drink plenty of water, so I'm keeping myself hydrated as well, and it's all working great. So far, the last exercise I did, other than doing my great walks through the park last week, I've not done any exercise since that first Accountability Monday, and yet I have lost that much on my body. So yeah, it all works. It all works. Now, if I want to become more toned and lose weight a little faster, then yeah, I can go out and exert myself some, you know, exercise, bring up my metabolism, my heart rate. But for the time being, as it goes, I'm not exercising yet other than doing the parks and whatnot. And that's another thing that Gwen Shamblin talks about. A lot of the clients that has done her diet, you know, the paralyzed, they can't go exercise. They can't exercise, but they're doing the Rae Down program and they're still losing weight. So it works either if you're sedentary or if you're extremely active, the Rae Down works. I have lost weight on it before. I just lost focus and stopped doing it. But I'm utilizing it again along with what I have learned in other areas, and just outright the decision to let go of the junk food. That's the biggest decision right there that I had to make. That was the biggest cutthroat right there. Outright thinking I'm doing okay, you know, because like I'm exercising, I think I'm eating less, but wait a minute, I'm still enjoying chips and chocolates and other candies and cookies and whatnot, and eating right before bed. I was sabotaging myself all along, even when I thought I was doing well. So I had to make the decision to let that stuff go, and I knew that in time I wouldn't want it, because I know for a fact I have done it so many times before. Go a few days just drinking water, you know, and not indulging in the junk, and then when I try it again, it's like not so good. Today, another point in talking, I opened up my little Coke, and the first half of it tasted pretty good, going down good, and then suddenly it was tasting too sweet. A itty bitty little can, tasted too sweet. I poured the rest out. I couldn't tolerate it no more. So that is amazing right there. And there's something else that I'm wanting to share with you. I wanted to do a video Wednesday night after church and share this, but I decided not to. I figured I'd just go on ahead and share it for today. Now, gentlemen, this isn't exactly for your ears, but if you want to continue watching, that's fine. It's up to you. I'm sure that you know what I'm about to talk about anyway, but this basically is for the women, so you can shut it off now if you want. I'm giving you a chance. I'm going to count down to 3. You can shut off or keep on. 3, 2, 1. You had your fair warning. Women, this is our subject. And I am so tickled to share this with you. So this is an encouragement to you guys, to you women. So like, for me, ever since I had started puberty in my early teens, I had a problem with strong cravings and acne right before my month. And since I have stopped primarily eating junk food and incorporating more water in my day, for the first time, let's see, I'm 46, so first time 33 years, something like that. However long I've been doing this anyway, 33 years or so. For the first time, I didn't have any cravings. My mood stayed very decent. I had just a little bit of impatience, but it wasn't bad. I was a raging bull, and my complexion stayed clear. Now, used to be, for me, I knew that my time was right around the corner, because I would have some very nasty acne pop up on my face. Any other time, not so bad, but just before, really ugly ones. And this time my complexion stayed clear. There was no acne development whatsoever on my face, and no food cravings. So I didn't even know when I was going to start, even though I know in general about the time, but I'm not like a steady one single day every month, you know. Mine staggers backwards by a few days. And I knew it was close, but usually the food cravings and the acne on my face is the telltale sign that it's closer than I'm calculating. My body didn't give me any of those warnings at all, because I have changed my diet to more natural foods, less junk food, and more water. I was so excited about that. And I wanted so much to share that with you ladies. So for any of you women who suffers from acne and food cravings just before, I am encouraging you to perhaps try changing your diet. If you haven't done so, try to see if you can stop so much with the junk food, like drinking too much sodas and maybe too many cookies or whatever, chips, whatever, you know, whatever is not more natural. I'm encouraging you, try to give that up, try to indulge in it less, try to eat more, try to eat less of it, and incorporate more water throughout your day, and see if your food cravings and acne doesn't clear up. It's something that I had wanted so bad. I didn't mind the food cravings, that didn't aggravate me, but having acne on the face is not very becoming. So I was so happy that my complexion stayed clear. I didn't even have to put on makeup to hide any blemishes. I loved it. So that is it for Accountability Monday. I know I've rambled, but my heart was so full of good things to share, and most of all, I'm happy because I'm seeing results of these changes, not just in a size difference and the drop in weight, but other factors in my body. I am seeing the results and I am loving it. And it's encouraging for me to continue doing these things. It's very encouraging. So that is it for today. And hope I didn't bore you too much and you enjoyed watching, rather, or that you at least found it quite informative. And I love yous. I appreciate your prayers, and for those of you who are supporting me, have a great and awesome day. Whatever time that you're watching this, either have a good night or have a good day, whenever it may be. I love you guys. Bye.